This girl was kept in the basement by her father for 20 years. This father used his daughter as a tool to express his beastliness. Every few years, the daughter would give birth to a baby. The children were more and more. Living space in the basement was increasingly narrowed. The father was getting older, the money he earned was less and less. At the same time had to raise a large family upstairs. And the small family in the basement. Maybe one day this secret was discovered by his wife. What would he do? My God, I don't dare to imagine it. This girl's name is Sara, 17 years old. Rebellious personality, often in conflict with his father. And her sister Amy was very obedient. That evening, Sara ignored her father's objections. She sneaked away from home to go on a date with her boyfriend, Chris. Both took each other out all night. Came back the next morning. Don always wanted to interfere in his daughter's life. Did not allow them to have boyfriends. This made Sara very offensive, so she decided, as long as she turned 18, she would leave this house. The world is so big, so I want to go take a look. As expected, the daughter in the house is like a bomb that explodes slowly. A few months later, Sara graduated from high school. Just right at the time she turned 18 years old. Sara planned to travel around the world with her boyfriend. But at this moment, Don suddenly had a bold thought. In the basement of their house there was a secret room. Except for him, nobody knew about it. Don tricked Sara down into the basement, then locked the door. The young girl's nightmare officially began here. The basement has been equipped with sound insulation. Password lock was pressed incorrectly 3 times, the power would be automatically disconnected. In the room except for a box of clothes and a toilet, nothing else remained. It was very hard to escape. After Sara went missing, her mother and sister searched everywhere. Only Don was calmly drinking tea and reading the newspaper. Because he firmly believed that no one can find Sara. On the first days, Sara always thought of ways to escape. She tried to crack the password, sneaking Don from behind. But in the end it still failed. The cunning father changed his password every day, making Sara's escape plan even more difficult. Don confined his daughter in the basement, and used Sara as a tool to express his beastliness. Previously Sara left home, only a few days to go back. But this time, she disappeared, making her mother very worried. Chris had not met his girlfriend for a long time, so came her home to find. Don told him. After Sara graduated, she left home to follow her boyfriend. And Chris never heard that he had a rivalry. If that was the case, then he also had nothing to say. Sara's 18th birthday. Don bought her a cake and a red dress. Sara's wish was to leave this place soon. On the 38th day of detention, Sara planned to escape again. She uses the lid of a can as a weapon. She intended to take the chance to attack Don. But unfortunately her strength was not enough to fight her father. Don beat his daughter. Then raped her, making Sara pregnant. And a year later, she gave birth to a baby girl. Sara named the baby Marie. Just like that, briefly 4 years passed, Marie grew up. The basement gradually had the feeling of family. At that time, Sara was pregnant again. Her second child and Don are about to be born. Every time came here, Don did that thing then left. He dared not stay in the basement for too long. Because he had to deal with the family above. That evening, Don brought a TV. Sara and her daughter's life gradually improved. 7 years later, Marie had asthma. But Don did not dare take her out to be examined. His son Jack was also 3 years old. Sara often played games with her children. Let them know about the outside world. At the same time, every few days, Chris would come to ask for information. He questioned the sister Amy. After all, Sara had left home with whom? Told him to give up hope. Amy still hid the incident. Who told you that? Amy learned that her father lied. She was immediately furious. The mother and daughter together questioned Don why he was lying. Don said it was just a good faith lie. They didn't need to be angry like that. At one point, Amy had doubts. Did her dad keep Sara up somewhere or not? But unfortunately everything was just baseless speculation. The mother also got angry. Wanted to invite private detectives to find girls. While both were arguing, Dawn dropped the key of the basement on the sofa. Amy took the chance, and went downstairs to find her sister. Right now, Sara was in the next room, about to give birth. Amy could not find her, was kicked out of the basement by Dawn. The third baby was born. But Sara couldn't take care of the children at the same time. So she offered to give this baby to her mother to take care of. Dawn, because of personal desires, agreed. Early the next morning, Dawn left the baby outside the door. Sara, in her own name, wrote her mother a letter. Said she couldn't take care of the child. So wanted to ask for help from Mom. At this point, Dawn also stepped out. And found a paper for help in the cradle. As many years passed, she still wanted to escape. It was almost found out by his wife. Dawn went downstairs and scolded Sara. 14 years later, the kids had grown up. At this point, Dawn aroused bad idea with Marie. Sara hurriedly stopped him. And begged Dawn not to touch Marie, she was still small. The children gradually grew up, and also had their own thoughts. No freedom, no friends. All day being locked in a dark room. What was the meaning of life like this? Sara said to the children. Then one day she would think of a way to get out of here. 17 years later, the opportunity finally came. It rained heavily outside. Sara found the basement began to leak. She dug a hole with her spoon from a crack in the wall. By evening Sara had dug a large hole. And it vented to the outside vents. She used a flashlight to ask for help. An uncle was taking his dog for a walk. He saw a light flashing off the side of the road. It was like someone was signaling for help. He hurriedly knocked on the door to let Dawn know. Dawn went to the basement, discovered Sara wanted to escape. He was very angry. Beat Sara, who was pregnant. The unborn baby was beaten to death by Dawn. 18 years later, the children were all grown up. They wanted to escape from the basement. They wanted to be free. They wanted to see the outside world. Actually, Sara also wanted to live freely. But encountered this perverted father. She also couldn't do anything. At this point, Sara had to tell the truth. Dawn was not her husband. He was her biological father. Sara asked the children to stay away from Dawn for safety. As long as she got the chance, she would definitely get them out. After learning the truth, the children deeply hate Dawn. They learned how to resist, learned to defend themselves. Not long after, Dawn quit his job, losing his source of income. The food they were shared was also less and less. Sara and her children didn't have a good meal. Dawn temporarily could not find a job. The children were all waiting for him to come and make money to support his family. Forced to the dead end, Dawn made a ruthless decision. He wanted to use car smoke to kill kids in the basement. At midnight, exhaust smoke was led into the basement through the ventilation pipe. Dangerous moments, the youngest son heard a sound. Immediately broke into the garage, stopped Dawn. One day in the 20th year. Marie had asthma attacks, breathing difficulties. If she did not get to the hospital in time, it would be dangerous to her life. After 20 years, Sara was finally out of the basement. Marie escaped death because she was saved in time. This opportunity to run away was so good, surely Sara couldn't miss. She deliberately spilled a glass of water to lure Dawn to leave. Then took the opportunity to ask for help from the doctor and protect. By the time Dawn found out, everything was too late. Sara was imprisoned for 20 years, finally freed. And Dawn was also arrested by the police. And received the proper punishment. Chris waited for 20 years, finally met Sara. They still loved each other like before, starting a new life. Dawn is a father. Yet he harmed his own daughter. Making this kind of thing really made other people disgusting. Not only is it contrary to conscience, but also against ordinary morality. Moreover, it left the indelible psychological specter in the hearts of the children. Hope that animals like Dawn would apologize in prison. To be a good father in the next life. Okay, the movie for today is over. See you next time.